I'm sorry, but the amount of little like 19-year-old white boys in MAGA hats who love to send me messages about how I need to find God and I'm a degenerate and all this why don't you worry about yourself, okay? I'm vibing. I'm crushing it. I'm having fun.
Right-wing e-girl Twitter drama. If you haven't seen it, good. Don't see it. I'll tell you about it. There was a great big catfight on Twitter recently, and it was engaging, by which I mean evidence that women do not belong in politics. Basically, Sarah Stock, young, pretty, right-wing e-girl, got engaged, and she was showered with congratulations. Just kidding, everyone had a problem with it. It took about 10 minutes to go from, I'm getting married, to, pause and read if you want. You may have heard the phrase, the personal is political. It basically means your emotions are going to shape your beliefs, and female emotions are made of plutonium. You need to store them carefully, and when they become unstable, they cannot be contained. So why does this matter? Why am I telling you about right-wing e-girl Twitter drama? Well, number one, it gets clicks. And number two, it's going to help me teach you something that you need to know. I upgraded my holy order chart. What you need to know is the difference between providing and deserving. I'm going to use these red and blue arrows for provide and deserve. Right-wing e-girls are a great way to teach this because even when women say they are conservative, they are still women, and women deserve. Deserving is what they do. Women are natural deservers. Their default setting is table. And that's okay as long as they are deserving from people who agree that they deserve and want to provide. If people are allowed to deserve things from other people who don't agree that they deserve it, that's a big problem. It breaks this whole chain because if you deserve, someone else must provide, and if they don't want to provide, then they stop providing. That's why deservers can never be in charge of providers. It makes providing look like a bad deal and then they don't want to do it. And when the providers quit, you can't just go directly to nature. You can't just walk into the woods and say, I deserve a house. It's not going to build itself. Providers do that. So when deserving is in charge, men get frustrated because women start deserving everything away from men until men don't have enough left to be deserved, and then they don't get married, either because they can't afford it or because they're afraid she's gonna deserve your house. And this Twitter drama is just a great example of how deserving works. These girls tore each other to shreds because someone got a ring, and what that means is, I deserve attention and status. But not all of them provided any valuable content. So here they are, saying they're conservative, but doing deservy things. I'm going to go through it bit by bit, and I'm going to give you a right-wing e-girl tier list based on the ratio of providing to deserving. One symbol I use a lot is this red upward arrow. It's in my self-max logo. It's at the bottom of the self-maximize chart. It symbolizes making things happen, turning your ideas into actions that go into your environment and become your situation. Self-max is designed to teach you how to do this. The environment section is blue because that's where stuff comes from. You need an environment to have a situation, and deservers want stuff to just come from it like Santa. So I want you to know how to make your desires into reality, but I also want you to understand deserving. I complain about deserving a lot. I call it being the table. It's the reason that some people pretend to be victims, because if someone hurts you, then they have to pay for it. That's why so many divorced women are abused. Sometimes it just means wants more stuff. Deserving is why the mystery zone exists. It's there to conceal deserving, like you should do what I want even if I don't say it. In terms of evolution, men had to go get stuff from the environment and women had to deserve it. That's how they survive. That's why they all want to be princess. Princess means the most deserving one. And it's basically the female version of double alpha, like I'm so strong I always get my way. Well, I'm so deserving I always get my way. So these arrows are basically masculine, feminine, active, passive, creating, consuming. So I'm gonna go get what I want from the world, and I deserve what I want from the stuff that you got. Now, deserving is not bad. Women and children are supposed to deserve, and men are supposed to provide. You don't tell a woman, go hunt the mammoth yourself. That never happened. They tried to say it did, but they lied. And providers are only gonna provide if they care about the people that they're providing for. I don't want just anybody deserving from me, and the way things are right now, I have to pay infinity deservers or else they deserve police to come get it from me. So you have to be able to recognize deserving when you see it, and I'm going to point it out and comment on girl drama at the same time. So by the end of this video, you should be able to recognize when someone is providing you with something worth your attention and when they are just deserving your attention. So let's get to the story. The overview is women who are influencers in the right-wing space had a big fat cat fight, and it looks like it was all about one of them getting married. I didn't see any deeper reason. Here's a map. The first thing I saw was 3 layers in. Someone was mad about someone being mad about Sarah Stock getting engaged. I clicked around, I discovered that there's been some vague tension between right-wing e-girls because they're girls and they hate each other. So Sarah posted her ring, there was immediate drama. I didn't see any nice replies. There probably were some, I didn't see them. So I'm dividing the replies into kind of had a point and uncalled for. This division matters for identifying deservers, but not for public discourse because they both resulted in escalation. The key to identifying deserving is this person providing anything of value, or is she just redirecting resources to herself? Attention is a resource. So in a marketplace, you have to do something that has value, build or create, and then you have to trade it for something someone else did that has value to you. Just imagine there's another one of these upside down. There's another guy fighting with God, and he's going to trade the stuff he got for the stuff you got. That's providing. Deserving is just when you say, I want my share of the stuff. For example, this video you're watching right now, it helps you understand people. I spent 20 years fighting with God or with the environment or the world to earn understanding. I was deserving knowledge, and I got it because I did the right stuff. And now I'm providing you with understanding, and you're providing me with attention, which becomes money. That's again me deserving from you. So providing and deserving are not opposite things. They're like asking and answering. When I post the video, I am deserving your attention. I'm saying, hey, watch my video, I deserve it. And there's nothing wrong with that because you can watch it if you want to, but you don't have to. Deserving would be more like you want attention, so you show your body or something, even though there's no exchange available. Deserving doesn't make sense unless there is an exchange. Like if someone works for you, they deserve the pay you agreed to, or if you cause an accident and it costs somebody, the victim deserves compensation, or your kids or your wife or someone you care about, they deserve support because you love them, and what you get back is someone you love is happy. You have to look out for people who deserve from you even though you get nothing, like you're not even people. It really upsets providers when that happens, and so they either quit or they try to do something about it. So the tier chart is just a ratio of providing to deserving. If the e-girl provides value, I'll give her points. If she tears people down or says, look at me for nothing, I'll subtract points. The tier list is just my personal take. It's just what I've seen from these women, so I'm going to give a percent certainty also. It's basically a hierarchy of deserving from low to high, and the deservier you are, the less of a conservative you get to be, because these women have careers based on not being down here. The deservening happened fast. It looks like it took about 10 minutes to go from I'm engaged to everyone but me is a whore. At this point, we're not talking about getting married anymore. It's about who slept with who and who's a brokey, and it took about 2 replies to go from I got a ring to this process repeated a number of times. It might still be going, I don't know, I took pictures and left. And then there were also takes on the situation from spectators. Every right-wing e-girl who earned a top score stayed in this box. They commented on the behavior like I'm doing, but did not get involved, at least not that I saw. The deserving happened here and maybe here, depending on how you look at it. Here's how it went in order. First of all, Sarah Stock posted her engagement. Congratulations, Sarah. I'm going to give Sarah an A rating with 30% certainty. I haven't known about Sarah that long, but she's been consistent on X, and I saw this clip of her just ruining this guy's day.
Let's not pretend to know God's vision.
How come
Let's act with
12%
love.
of men who have sex with other men 1 or more times a week have problems where they are not able to control their bowel movements?
Because do you...
Well, why?
So she took him from this to this. That's good work. By the way, I'm pretty sure what she said is true. I had a gay boss once, and I sat here and the bathroom was here, and I'm pretty sure it's true. Saying true things, even when they're unpopular, is a strong sign of adding value. I'm only putting Sarah at A instead of S because Pearl Davis made a valid point.
Sarah Stock, right? I talked about the engagement ring and I said, hey, you're posting that for attention. And you know what she did? She did the modern woman life cycle. She crashed out. She got offended, even though it was true, objectively true.
I'm not sure about that. I think it's okay to post your wedding ring, but also it is true that influencers will use their families and relationships to get attention, which is pretty deserving. So that's an example of include me because of who I am and not because of what I did. And I don't know to what extent Sarah meant it that way, but she did participate in a little drama, so I can't give her a top score. I'm giving Pearl an A for similar reasons. Number 1, drama, as we saw, and number 2, hoe scaring. Someone drew up the battle arrangements for us. Now, I know I scare a few hoes myself. Hoe scaring is an art. There's a way to do it right, and I don't do it that way, and neither does Pearl.
Would you rather us promote degeneracy and sleeping around? Well, I'd rather you be honest about the fact that you guys, none of you were virgins either. Feminism is a strategy for women to use as much of their youth on themselves as humanly possible and still stick the landing. So conservative women are like the best at this because they use all of their youth on themselves and then stick the landing at like 32.
Telling it like it is just scares hoes. Hoes don't want it to be the way that it is, but it do be. So Pearl kind of had a point that showing the ring and not the man might be a bad sign, meaning everyone look at my status but not at the man who gave it to me. And in the worst case scenario, that means he would be just paying to advertise her to the next guy, which would be maximum deserving. That's why I gave Sarah 30% certainty. I don't know if Pearl is right about this, but if she is, that's a big downgrade. You cannot be conservative and use men as stepping stones. That's just feminism. It's probably not what Sarah meant to do, but Pearl is right too often to ignore it completely.
Because they don't realize what women are doing. Half of these women can and will divorce their husbands and use their brand as marketing for husband number 2. I've seen this film before.
I'll have to make a list of fake marriage indicators or something at some point, because I can't tell if Pearl knows something or not. I sat down with Pearl, and I'm pretty sure she means what she says. When you talk to someone live, you can feel what they do and don't want to say. You can feel that tension. And I think Pearl is really frustrated with women. So on the one hand, Pearl is great at pointing out the tricks that women play, but on the other hand, she plays them herself. But on the other hand, she admits it.
Pearl, be so real. You call out women for doing the exact same things you do. I do, because I'm honest. I am honest about it. I really am.
So Pearl gets an A, and I'm 90% sure. Isabella Maria de Luca. I have no idea who this is. All I know is she featured prominently in the drama in an unproductive way. Your ring is small means you are low status, which means look at me instead. Also, she says she doesn't post bikini pictures, but then she does, which means I have high purity. Believe me, don't believe your eyes, believe my words. So F, 20% certainty, I don't know her. Morgan Ariel. I never heard of Morgan before either, but I have now, and it was all, you give it up for free, and this whole thing, there's a lot in here. So F, 20%, entirely not called for. The 3 right-wing e-girls who got an S, they didn't really get involved. They posted about the drama but stayed out of it, and for my money, saying drama is bad is enough of a contribution. There's Shoe on Head, a longtime e-girl who's been more right-wing lately, I guess, and that's a good sign, because as things get more weird, you're supposed to go, hey, what the hell, and a lot of people are still not doing that. I've known about Shu for years, but I've only been looking closely for about a month, and she's been saying it like it is. Here she is expressing disapproval of feminine behavior without adding any more. Great job, S 80%. I will keep watching. Rachel Wilson, right-wing E-matron, gets an S with 99%. Married to Andrew Wilson, professional hoe corrector. participates in the correction herself. Very slim chance Rachel is secretly a modern woman. Here's what Rachel had to say. This is not about women's happiness. This is the most important point that can be made right now in the world, and it's even better that it's a woman making it. What makes women happy is not equal to what makes civilization function. That's why feminism is such poison. It's just systematic deserving. So that's a very strong contribution without any, like, look at me. 99% sure on this one. Leonardo Joni might be the only female comedian who has ever said anything true about women.
Because I prepared a list to help unattractive women realize that they're unattractive. Number one, you work in an office. No attractive woman works in an office for longer than it takes for the CEO to start b***ing her.
Women who point out what's wrong with women are a green flag.
All right, everybody, we've got a special episode of Women Are Retarded, Part 3.
Leonardo made fun of the drama without getting involved as well, going with 85%. I've known about her a little while, there could still be stuff I don't know. And finally, the big loser, Emily Saves America, F 99%. I had never heard of Emily before the Deservening, but she gave me a lot to go on. Here she is responding to valid criticism by getting as personal as possible. Here she is trashing Morgan Ariel. Here she is insulting Sarah's ring. That's it. That's all I saw. Just tearing women down. As far as I can tell, Emily is just a regular awful plus look at my cute hat. Emily lives in Los Angeles. She looks like a party girl. She has this to say about herself.
I'm sorry, but the amount of little like 19-year-old white boys in MAGA hats who love to send me messages about how I need to find God and I'm a degenerate and all this why don't you worry about yourself, okay? I'm vibing. I'm crushing it. I'm having fun. I'm the life party. Something you'll never be. You live in a flyover state. You have little dick energy. You're probably a virgin. So why don't you just focus on you, whatever the makes you happy, and I will keep going to nightclubs, partying, and doing drugs, because that's what makes me happy.
She keeps going, but I got tired of bleeping. I have to do it manually. If I close my eyes, I don't hear Emily anymore. I hear the reason I don't leave the house.
And all this why don't you worry about yourself, okay? I'm vibing. I'm crushing it. I'm having fun.
Emily, how is any of this saving America? What do you think America is? Is America in the room with us right now? Could you stop saving America? This is classic deserving behavior.
Makes you happy, and I will keep going to nightclubs, partying, and doing drugs, because that's what makes me happy. And
she's basically saying, it doesn't matter what kind of content I provide you, what kind of guidance. I deserve a reaction that makes me happy from my supporters. Emily, I don't know if you know me. I'm pretty good at teaching people to understand people. I make all these charts. Here's the thing. You don't look happy. You look like you're using your outside voice to tell everyone that you're fine. That would be this behavior. You're just figuring out how mean you can be before you get a reaction. Just something to think about. For the rest of you, keep looking for deserving. I point to this picture a lot. It's more important than a lot of you know. This is providing, and this is deserving. And when you let deserving be in charge, this is what you get. That's why we hate simps. You gave the deservers what they wanted because you thought it would make them happy, but instead they deserved even more, and now there's nothing left for us except the bill. And this is not just women, it's everyone who deserves. This is equity and semi-pronouns. It's everyone who wants something from you and you don't get anything back. They trained us to be afraid of that. They say just be nice, but if you do that, then you don't deserve anything. Do you see how that works? They deserve, you do not. And if you don't agree, they play victim and they call you names, just like these ladies did to each other and their audience. And that is why you need this. If you don't have it, you lose everything and no one owes you. So keep looking for deserving and start saying no. No one respects you if you don't defend your boundaries. Thanks as always for watching, and remember, I have a new website with clips and a new book. I have a lot going on. It's all in the links under the video in the description.